Welcome, Mr. Justin Bemis.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so we have everyone join us here. Justin Bemis, real estate agent extraordinaire. I will say, Justin, and I'm going to inflate your ego a little bit, which you're probably like me, which doesn't do you any good. Any agent I talk to, any realtor I talk to, basically uses you as like the standard of social media.
Wow.
And so you're out there, you're doing a lot of things. It's turning heads, and hopefully we're excited to. So we needed to raise the bar today, which is then what we have in front of us here. For those of you that haven't seen Hot Ones, we thought it'd be a lot of fun. We'll do some introductions. We'll get to know Justin a little bit,
Okay.
but then we are going to play the Hot Ones game. So check it out on YouTube. They basically interview folks while eating spicy wings that go from a mild. So what do we have here, Cole? Well, we have a, I think mild, medium, hot, toxic, and then we do have, I think we left it out there, the bomb, which is, especially from World Market, burn your face off type sauce. And we'll ask you questions with each wing.
Perfect.
And as the wings get hotter, so do the questions. I think that he says that. Is that trademarked? Sorry if that's trademarked.
No worries. No,
So
I can smell it already, man. I can feel the rhythm.
yeah. So tell us. So give us a quick rundown on Justin. Introduction on Justin here.
Yeah. So my wife and I moved to Flagstaff in 2009. Ended up working in the car business. Worked my way up from detail to finance to sales management, and then I just kind of felt that ceiling cap of, man, there's got to be something else out there. I favor the relationships and just the overall, education of the industry that I learned. But I just felt that it was time to kind of take things to another level and create my own success and schedule. And jumped into real estate into 2017, and here we are today with full steam ahead and just stoked to be here.
Awesome. And as far as, so you got wife, little one.
Yeah,
now?
little 2-year-old. He's 2 years, 2 months, and just crazy.
Love it.
He's on fire, ready to go.
Love it. And I'm wondering how many questions asked. This is new for us here. So how many questions do I ask before our faces burn off? Why don't we get started?
Yeah,
let's
I'm
do
ready
it.
to go, man.
Let's do, and we'll get into. This will be really interesting to where. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you easy. I was gonna change it up here a little bit, actually. What are the key? No, do we eat the wing first, or do I ask the question? We eat the wing first, huh?
Yeah, you can eat
we eat the wing first.
Okay. We do a wing first.
Yeah.
Get the juices flowing.
Okay. All right. So we start towards the handle.
Okay.
That'd be funny if we messed it up.
You go this way first.
It would be really funny though.
The thing's over. We're done.
Hope you didn't eat too much for lunch.
I had a small sandwich. I was ready. Maddie texted me this morning. He's like, the wing thing. I'm like, what's that? So we're here.
Have you watched Hot Ones before?
I have, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together at the time, and he explained. I was like, oh man.
We were thinking of games that we can apply to the podcast in real estate, and we had a couple different ideas, but this one seemed easy.
This one's gonna be
This
fun.
is working.
So, fun.
Question here: what are the key differences between selling cars and selling homes, and how do those impact your approach of trying to be the top realtor that you're trying to be?
I just took a huge bite. Sorry. I'll time it.
You're good.
Next time.
You're good.
This is a good one though. ATL. I'm a flats guy, but mixing them is good.
Yep.
A little more meat to cool them down.
There is some heat on that though, even though.
It's a little bit.
I mean,
what do we got here for sauce on this one?
that's their mild.
Okay. Sorry.
It's good meat on that wing though.
It is.
I think the different celebrities, like some will go eat the whole thing and some just get a little taste of it. But
Just a couple bites.
I don't know.
We'll be here for a while if we do that.
Yeah.
I think the answer to that question is just more of a relationship building kind of mindset. I think as a longevity business plan, our goal is to be community involved and just really make sure that, we're looking kind of ahead of the trends and curves as opposed to what's in it now. And the car business was a lot of just today, today, today. And, that's still some of the mindsets out there. But I think really looking at the bigger picture and trying to figure out how to build those foundation blocks to, get to the top, whether it's, now and completing to continue based on 6 years in now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's just more mindset than just today.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. And I mean, along with that, what percentage of car sales would you feel like are lean towards the impulse buy?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
A lot. Yeah, I would say probably 70 to 80%. A lot of people just go in to look. I mean, and that's what everybody says.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of kind of crunching stuff, and people wanted this color and they end up leaving with that color. And, I don't know. There's just a lot of kind of pressure that goes into it. And I think that's why people kind of get nervous to go buy a new car. There's just a lot of different phases to the sale. And if you're hesitant, someone else comes and tries to kind of bottle you up and ship you down the road.
And another factor too on it, as I'm thinking, so I've never been in car sales. I worked in the restaurants, up and coming.
There you go.
The restaurant business in like college and stuff. And then, so that's where a lot of folks, though, they make it very attainable for the average Joe. Right. So car buying, it's like, hey, what can you afford per month? And we're going to figure this sucker out.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And so that's where, in contrast with home buying, especially right now, so we can get really current on it, right? Is back when rates were 2%, there was even maybe a little bit more impulse on like, screw it. We got to buy that second home. Let's just make it happen. Sure. There was a little bit more of that happening. Still generally you have to have a little bit, a higher level of qualification, some means and some plan, right? I mean, there's, are there a lot of folks doing like low down, walk out of this with nothing down kind of stuff?
They start with a number, and then there's three kind of dynamics to the deal, and it really boils down to payment, because then that's what kind of controls the tools to get to that, and you can move this and move that, and it's all about the payment. So if I could do zero down, would you take this today? It's like, oh my gosh, it's the same payment as what we're paying on our RAV4. Absolutely. Bam, go ring the bell, you know?
Yeah.
So
but that's especially right. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to kind of jump to conclusion, but it almost just got, I don't want to say easy, but you just kind of figured out the objection and just worked around it,
Sure. But now in this market, so specific to this market and that skill set being different, right? How are you adapting? Folks,
I think
folks are gun shy. It's a tougher market. You can't just be like, oh, let's adjust a couple things. Like you got the price. They're not going down. The rates hopefully will be moving. But right now they are what they are, right?
Yeah. I think just being a chameleon and we always said have your head on a swivel, but kind of goes to the same practices. I mean, inventory's low, rates are higher than they were. So, I mean, you've got some obstacles, and it's more or less putting yourself in a position of what's best for that client, and not trying to jam it and, well, it's got granite, but it's got, I mean, you don't hard sell, you don't do any of that. You just be there, you're on their team, and you're basically just utilizing the strengths, whether it's relationships between the lenders or the other agents, and trying to make that deal work for them financially, whether it's payment, bottom line, cash purchase, or whatever the case is.
Love it. All right. You ready for number 2?
I'm ready.
All right. Let's this one is our is this medium or hot? This is medium.
This is a medium. Cheers. We got it here to cheers.
Dink it and sink it, right?
That one's more my speed. I like that little bit of flair, but not a lot. I'm ready. I'm gonna be good. I think I got this.
I think the thing we got Mason from Justin's team in the corner here.
I'm feeling big,
and I think it's gonna be this like vert ramp though.
It's going vertical.
Yeah, it's gonna be the vert ramp where you're like, oh, this is so, and then you're like, I am in pain.
After 3, we're going into the full pipe. And
so like we talked about, Scoville rating. We'll do more official sauces on the next round, but Tabasco, I believe, is at 3,700 Scoville. We talked about, and DeBomb that we're gonna hit on the last one is 135,000. Like we mentioned that earlier, so that's gonna be interesting. Okay, so question number 2 here: in the current real estate market, who is driving you nuts? Is there a particular type of buyer, seller, or even other professional that is driving you nuts right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to like pinpoint it to a buyer and seller because everybody is human and everybody
Yeah.
wants what they want, you know. And I think one of the biggest drivers, or one of the things that is just people kind of looking at it and being a player on both sides of the fence. You know, everybody wants to sell and get all the money, then everyone wants to buy and, you know, get the biggest discount or whatever it may be. But if you're doing both, you got to kind of play ball a little fairly. You know, it's because you're doing it to be able to, you know, make those ends meet. And obviously that kind of financial piece is important. But yeah, I mean, I think more than anything, just other agents at times, you know. And I don't know, no one specifically, but I think just kind of the lack of consistency, whether it's picking up the phone or just stepping up to the plate and being there for your client. You know, I've had showing requests that just sit for days, and I'm like, man, I just feel bad for that seller, you know. And not, again, no one specific, and maybe not even a lot in our you know, Flagstaff town, but a lot of people coming up from the valley and stuff and representing clients and sellers and buyers, and I just don't feel like they get the best treatment.
It's a big complaint of mine, and we see it on the on. It's hard for me, having done this for 14 years here in Flagstaff, and I'm and we talk about ego, right? Be careful on that. I've experienced a lot, right? I've experienced a lot, and it's really, really hard. Where I definitely want to work within my area of licensure,
Right.
but when I see the same thing of like, all right, you're inhibiting your client, you are costing time and money to everybody. That have you ever seen the 2010? I think it's 2010, so a little dated. 2010 NAR danger report.
I have not.
They say, check this out. It's actually really rad. If I have it still, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
They did this study of saying what is the biggest threat to the realtor profession, and then I won't make you guess on it. The number one is bad realtors. It wasn't technology. It wasn't the judicial system
Right.
banning, changing commission splits or whatever. It was bad realtors, right? And I so believe in that, and it's actually very, very, and you hope kind of with the market changing how it is, because any lender that was quoting to 2% was closing deals.
Right.
Any realtor that could, I once said this in our mastermind meeting. Like, hey, if you have a pulse and a yard sign, you're selling homes, and everyone's like, no, arguing. I'm like, no, like if you own the listing, you're gonna sell it because everything is selling.
Right.
And so what would you say if you had to maybe to piggyback on this question a little further? Top three things that differentiate a realtor to like an excellent realtor. So let's skip good and just say, what are the top three things that like an excellent top-notch realtor is? And that's like the 10. Yeah, I'd say that's less than 10% of our market.
Right.
And so that's hard. That's hard, hopefully, for other people to hear, that 90% of the realtors are not in that top-notch category. But that's the way the business goes. So what are those top three things that you think?
Well, and I think now too, it's really kind of trimming the fat, because it's, I don't want to say survival of the fittest, because there's still a ton of opportunity. But I don't know. I was, even with Mason and myself, just interviewing past clients, and I think the biggest thing that they, you know, kind of vouch for is like they feel like I'm their only client, you know, and really giving them that one-on-one experience and answering my phone, digging in, and being creative, whether we have an issue here or there, and always just, you know, putting them in the best, you know, in the driver's seat to make sure that they're 100% taken care of from start to finish. And I think that's different because it's not about a check. I mean, we all get paid at the end of the year. I mean, it wouldn't be that fun, but it's more of just the culture. And I don't know, there's just a lot of things that I feel like we do differently than others. And I think that's kind of that separation piece to, you know, showing that through our social media, and just having passion for the industry, which is something I truly enjoy.
Love it. Awesome. Ready for the next one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So this is
This guy looks hot though. I'm like,
just do it.
We're 50% in. Cheers.
50% in here.
Little barbecue. I kind of like this. Is a good one.
It's late to the game though.
It's coming.
How you feel?
It's coming. All right, This one's good to be good. What is this sauce, Maddie? Cole, I mean, sorry. Habanero barbecue.
I feel like I need to get more of that sauce because it didn't hit me as hard.
Yeah, the sauce is good. This is all ATL, right? Everything? Well,
Yep.
except for
Except
the
for
big,
the
the
bomb.
big dog. I'm glad the big dogs are flat too, because I
Yeah.
need some crunch for that one.
Yeah. Okay. So in true fashion with the hot ones, we have the Instagram deep dive. So we'll be putting these on the screen for those that want to view this. And actually, since it is audio podcast as well, we'll describe this here. Actually, I'll have you should I describe it and you can tell? Or no, why don't you describe it and tell me what's going on here? So
Okay.
start. We got about 5-6 photos.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Instagram deep dive here. Okay.
Look at this. This is from back in 2014. So,
Is that when you were married?
yeah, we got married in Tahiti, and the guy doing the tattoos name's Mona.
Okay.
He flew to this little private island with a briefcase with all of his tattoo gear.
Okay.
I was actually pretty nervous, so I was drinking a Heineken. You're not supposed to drink while getting a tattoo. But they kept encouraging. They're like, want another beer? I'm like, sure. So I wanted this like Tahitian little soldier, right, somewhere on my body. And they were like, you got to get on the back of your leg because it protects behind you. You know, I'm like, no,
Sure.
I still want on my front. So he's like, all right, we'll do it on the front. He said it'd be about as big of an iPhone.
Yeah.
It ended up being about 3 times that size.
Gotcha.
There's a couple lines that a little came out. Yeah, I mean, it was they were going to do it with the bone first. The bone and I can't remember that process.
Like legit, like tapping it.
Yeah, the full on I was like, I don't know, man. Let's just do the regular like tattoo gun deal. But so this was the night before we flew home, and it was like leaking so much. I don't even know. It was bad. So they had it all saran wrapped up. We get to the airport, and I'm like, I can't get on the plane like this. Like literally was like oozing off. Like a big piece of my leg is tatted up from this guy, right? So there's a Chinese restaurant right by the airport, and they're serving like full fishes and like total different style of food.
Yeah.
And this lady's like, put your leg up on the table. And I'm in the middle of this packed restaurant, and she starts saran wrapping it basically in the restaurant to like get me secured up to go on the plane. Cause it was just messy looking. And I was like, I don't know, man, if this is good. I got like goosebumps, and I was feeling real weird probably after this last wing. But it was definitely a tattoo I'll never forget, just based on the location. I mean, I looked out to this like lagoon that overlooked the ocean in Tahiti, and it was just incredible.
Yeah, was that when you got married as well, or that was a different time coming back or something?
This was like a couple days after we got married.
Okay.
I just was like,
Did you get one
here
as well, or no?
No. She was like, I'm gonna go lay out or something. You know, I was like, all right, but yeah, that's good. I like that.
Okay, let's go. Right, we got this one.
Oh man, another cool one. So Magnus Walker is like a big Porsche guy. And this was actually when I was in the car business. Scott Baugh, the owner of Planet, invited me to go with him, and I got to meet this guy. And he's like a mega legend, old school. He even has a Matchbox car with his like logo on it now, because he's like that big of like old Porsche influencer from like British. I don't know. He's cool. That was a cool. That was
very
a cool
cool
one. That was really fun.
Let's see. I think we got 1 or 2 more here. So kind of digging in on that. Well, let's actually go here. Yes, yeah.
Oh man, this one was cool. This is at those the lava tubes out by Belmont.
Oh, okay.
My buddy Lear was like, "Hey, let's go in there and bring flashlights." My dog Maverick came with us, and at the very end it splits left to right, and he took a photo with some flashes and stuff, but. Yeah, that was cool.
Because you have a lot of cool photography on your social media. Do you just have really good friends that are connected to the photography thing, or do you have like that kind of eye and passion for it too?
I think both. You know, coming from like a snowboarding, skateboarding background, like we always, you know, as Mason and I have talked in the past too, of like making skate parts and snowboard videos and just like angles and just kind of having an eye for stuff. And this was actually shot by my buddy Lear, who's an incredible photographer, but. He's just, I don't know. I think between my ideas and their ideas and Mason's ideas, we just kind of have a different eye for stuff, and then actually go out and like do it and just vision it and go shoot it. And it typically works out. I mean, not every time, but when it does, it's fun and
So
cool.
it kind of might play into like the next one here is now what are you coming off of? Is that a car? Like an old car or something?
Yeah, so that's a cool spot too. So we go ride there. It's actually out in Winslow,
Okay.
and there's been a car out there for years, and I'm like, man, it would be so cool to like jump off of it. So I went to Home Depot and ripped a 2 pieces of plywood in the
Okay.
parking lot,
Yeah.
just 2 feet wide, and then self tap screwed them to the bottom of the car and basically built a jump off it. It was just total flat landing, but
Yeah.
we brought
Bottomed out.
full compression, but we brought the what's
Is
that?
that
Elon
your
Musk's
boring company?
flamethrower out, and yeah, man, that was fun. That was a good night too.
Nice, nice.
That was
So
fun.
Mason, so as part of like, well, and that's what's interesting too is, um, well, what percentage and you might know that? Well, Mason, or you know this. I don't know if you guys are like super scientific about it, but how much of like your social media is specifically real estate, and then how much is lifestyle?
Well, we have 2 accounts, so I mean, the JBRE is fairly driven towards real estate, and we were actually talking today, like, we want to change it up and not just have new listings and just close, because everybody can do that. And even though our style is different, I think like with having kind of an eye for photography and videography, that style is shifted into our page, and just involving skateboarding and snowboarding and just things that moto and
Yeah.
stuff that we like to do in Flagstaff, and kind of incorporating that into the page. But I think to answer that question direct, I mean, the JBRE is pretty much 100% driven real estate, with bringing the team in and allowing them to have some time on radio, podcasts, and just kind of expressing their interest in the industry. And
It gives some personality to your team.
yeah, exactly. It's just not a cut and dry page. There's a lot of kind of unique stuff going on, and different ideas and different styles that we're constantly trying to come up with.
Love
So
it.
to answer that percentage wise, I mean, my personal page, I still have some real estate influence on it, but it's going out and getting a cool photo or being with my family. And I don't know, I feel like I've kind of toned it back on, not to say every photo is just incredible by any means, but I don't know, just having fun with it and just
Sure.
trying to enjoy it, as opposed to like getting followers and kind of building it anymore. It's just like, dude, it's just another tool to like, it's almost like a memory book, like you can go back to 2014. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have not looked at that photo in probably 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's like a really cool memory to like kind of put back on the shelf.
Oh, exactly. I love it. All right, last one. All right, so I'm not postponing our like the bomb sink in here.
Like this one. Oh man, another cool one. So this is another photo by Lear. This was our gender reveal
Without burning down something.
Oh my gosh, timing was crazy because there was so many fires in Oregon. So we had to be very careful with obviously what we did. The biggest thing was just like cleaning up the beach. Like those were all just confetti.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So there was no flames or no flamethrowers or any fire in this guy. Because I mean, especially at the time of that year in 2020, like
Yeah.
the Pacific Northwest was on fire. It was pretty sad. But we were up in Oregon at the coast, and we popped off those little rocket things that shoot confetti everywhere, and it's a boy, man. And that was like our first little announcement of cruise, which is cool.
I love it. And
Really
you
cool.
say cruise is 2.5 now?
Cruise is just under 2.5. Yeah.
Okay.
2 years and a couple months. So
Gotcha. Do you have him on a Stasic yet?
I don't on a Stasic. He's getting on the Strider pretty good.
Okay.
I've taken him to Tut a couple times.
Yeah, yeah.
Mason's played. Yeah, we just all kind of hang out with him. He just comes out to the garage and twists the throttle on the dirt bike. And I got him a little set of bars for the moto, so he can sit with me and like,
Yeah.
He kind of counter steers. I'm like, dude, don't do that right now. Like, but he's like more, and I don't know. He's
very cool.
He's gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So.
My little guy, so he's now 3.5 ish. Yeah, so 3.5. So we're about a year older than Cruz as my youngest, and we had him. So last year, about 2.5, we finally got him on because he's doing the balance bike like no one's business, and we finally like talked him into getting on the Stasic and pulling throttle because it scared him at first, and then he was like all about it, couldn't get him off of it.
Right.
And then this year, we got him pedaling. So at 3.5 pedaling, totally solid, like loving it. And then just this last Sunday, but he was nervous about the Stasic again. And so I finally like got him on that.
Yeah.
He drifted 2 feet going up our driveway.
Dang.
Like just, yes, like because my my other son's not, turning 9 tomorrow, and he just like whips those things. And so we got a 16-inch and then like the 12-inch.
Okay.
And so because he sees his big brother
Just
like
throttling.
going pinned up in like a 90-degree corner,
Dang.
I'm like, oh, bro,
He's
so,
already just juicing it because
Yeah.
Big Bro's getting.
I'm
him
excited
stoked.
about like it's like with those dad moments where like, oh, awesome, but I'm like, oh man,
Right.
I paid, I broke a lot of things because you professionally snowboarded, right?
Yeah, I had a couple sponsors that made it to that level, and most of it was just amateur stuff. But
Okay.
I mean, yeah,
You break a lot of things on the way.
No, I had an ACL on my left knee and just weird stuff, you know, just little things here and there, but no crazy bones or anything like that.
You did it right then. So between like snowboarding and I haven't done, knock on wood, mountain biking, because that's actually more the downhill mountain biking is one of the most dangerous things I do. But yeah, and then football. So I've broken left forearm, dislocated my left elbow, broken my right collarbone 3 times, had a minor amputation.
What?
I was moving to kids' playhouse, bro. When they say don't,
Oh my goodness!
like watch your fingers, man.
Moving a playhouse.
Yeah, me and my father-in-law, we built this massive, like heavy, full-on wood, like playhouse.
Wow.
For my kids, and we were moving it, and put, like my mother-in-law, father-in-law, and my wife were pushing. Like on a Sunday morning, we're trying to push it in the spot, and we were having issues with it, and they time to push right on my thumb.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Anyways, so there you go.
All right.
Doing it right. All right, we
Let's
can
go.
skip on to the next one here.
Going,
Okay,
man.
toxic.
All right.
We don't have the Scoville rating, but let's give this one a go.
Like it. It's got that late punch though. It's coming.
Yeah, I was feeling my lips burning on the other one for a while as we were talking.
Same. Right in the beginning, I was like, man, these next 3 are gonna be solid for sure.
Yeah. You want paper towel for your fingers? Oh, we got the fancy napkins too.
I'll
Either
take
way.
the fans.
Yeah,
This
well.
works. Cool. Thank you.
Cole had us set up here. That one definitely is hitting.
I don't know, man. Like,
Is that not hitting as much?
no.
You're good.
I think I'm good. I'm gonna get this.
I'm going to do it. But we were talking about the DJ Khaled one where he's like, because you know DJ Khaled and his branding. It's like, if I don't finish, it doesn't mean I'm a quitter. And the guy's like, yeah, it does.
He's like, yeah, actually it does.
Yeah. That one's on the tongue still. So let's see if I can get
It's
out
there.
the question. Yeah.
It's there. I might
Yeah.
even hit another bite because it was that good.
I think Cole maybe sauced me up.
He's like, this one.
I got the other one, like I didn't get hardly any sauce, so I had to hit again. But this one, like I have a big thing of sauce right on the tongue.
I would actually order those on the regular. I like
You
that
would?
one. I like that one a lot.
I wouldn't do that one. I think you're
I like that
you're
one
surpassing me. We're seeing the difference between the men and the boys here.
We were eating jalapenos the other day at Mexican food in Williams, and or no, they were serrano peppers,
Oh, okay.
just like boiled. I think they look all kind of like soft, you know,
Yeah.
however they do that. But yeah, I hammered a few of those out. Put them on my taco. All right, it's kicking in a little bit. that was
Yeah.
a little late punch, but yeah, it's good.
See, I think I hit the sauce to ours all punch. I'm gonna see if I can hold out and not hit the milk until the bomb. But after that one, I mean I have to hit the milk
Yeah,
after the bomb.
that one's getting up there though. All right, I gotta build up for that guy.
Okay. So real estate often at times involves unexpected and sometimes embarrassing moments without violating any legal non-disclosure. Or what's your most embarrassing real estate moment?
I mean, there's a few I could rattle, but one of them was I was all stoked. I had these really cool clients. I'm actually still in touch with them now, which is really cool. But we were looking at homes out in parks, and I had this like, when I first started, I thought I was gonna be like this luxury guy with sports coat, Pine Canyon.
Sure.
My headshot, I should probably change that because it's all right. But I'm out showing a home way out in parks, and we're just walking up, and it was getting dark, and I think it was the last home. And I had my little, it was like even like a pink sports coat. It's actually pretty sick, but I've worn it since. I step off on this like big flagstone rock, and it comes out of like the I guess it would be grout or the mortar or whatever was holding it in, and it just, I slipped and fell in front of these people, in front of my clients, and ripped the jacket completely down the back. Yeah. And that was one. There's a few more that I could probably rattle, but that one just stuck. I don't know. I just blew my favorite jacket out, and they were laughing, and Yeah, I actually talked to them 2 days ago, just checking in on him. But he brings it up every once in a while. He's like, man, remember that? You stepped off the curb and just blew your jacket right out in front of us. I was like, yeah, I had to throw it in the truck, all ripped in two. But yeah, that was one that kind of just comes to mind pretty quick.
Love it.
I messed up on an earnest deposit, so I had to write a check for that. That one was pretty embarrassing. That was bad. I missed the day by one, and she was traveling, and I was new, and I had all these escrows, and I was just juggling too much, and it just bit me. I wrote it back, made her whole, and then resold her house, and kind of made my money back by half. But yeah, I guess the attitude was there though of like, I got to do the right thing, and that was getting her money back. So it was only $2,000. We were way out in like Sholo or something, looking at a manufactured home with broken hose bibs. You're getting spicy. I can feel the dragon coming, man.
Oh no, it's subsiding now.
Good.
I had a little nose wipe. Like wasn't heavy, just like keeping me clean there.
Keeping on the level.
Yeah, the bomb's gonna. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna see this is for like Cole and Mason's entertainment here.
That's right. This one, dude. This one's a sleeper because I know it's starting to run a little bit.
Is it starting to?
Yeah, I'm trying to play it cool.
I think I hit the sauce hard.
It's starting to like get that that burn.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to think. So I have the last heavy question here. Let's get into it. Let's just do it. Let's hit it.
Should we go big?
Should we go? Yeah.
Right now?
Let's do it.
One more question or hit the big dog?
No, so we'll hit it and then have the big question. That will lead to some, if we can talk, will lead to some very interesting conversation because that's the hard question. That's the hardest question.
So we have to commit, though, at least to a really true bite.
Oh, yeah. No,
I know we would never cheat it, but I'm just saying, if it gets
Did you think
gnarly,
I was going to
No, you're just like
cheat on my own game? No, I've taken big bites out of all these. Double bites on a couple of these because I'm a wing fan.
I did hit only one bite on that guy, but that one wasn't as
I think for
we got to take two good ones.
Two good ones?
Yep.
So basically clean one side.
Oof. Yeah. Mason's nervous for us.
I think we're talking a big game until we know
Yeah, maybe we do one and just see what happens.
We got one big bite, one good big bite on this sucker. No shame. I'm going to open up the LaCroix just in case. So I did, and I will say, so I grew up in the restaurant business. Like later into high school and then through college, and it was like a busser, host, server, all those different things. And when I was young, like 17-year-old at this restaurant, and all these servers were like, hey man, I'll pay you. Like we were tipping out right at the end of the night and everything. And they're like, I'll pay you like $10 if you eat this habanero whole. And I was this young 17-year-old. I was like, whatever. Like I'll make $10. And it was actually, no, it wasn't when we were tipping out. Now I'm remembering. It was still like halfway through the night that I did it. And I had like a root beer, like slow sipping a root beer like the entire night because it was like not good.
Where was this restaurant at?
So it's actually so I grew up just north of Salt Lake City.
Okay.
So this is in Salt Lake City, downtown.
Cool. So I'm starting to ask questions because I'm slow rolling the wing. Like, so Chris, tell me a little bit about yourself.
No. Yeah. So that was the gig.
That's it.
And there was
what kind of restaurant was it?
It was a fine dining, but it was buffet.
Interesting.
So the servers had it made because they were hardly bringing anything. People got up to get their own food.
True.
And it was, but no, it was a nice spot.
That's
nice
cool.
Little spot.
Just in the city somewhere?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. 10th floor, kind of rad spot.
Dude, Salt Lake's a hard one to drive through, man. There's so many I don't exactly remember why it was so confusing back in the day, but like it was directional, but it was like a grid kind of set up where
yeah,
I don't know.
It gets tricky.
It was.
Have you hit Snowbird?
I've not. I've ridden Brighton.
Yeah,
a handful of times, and that was kind of it in Utah. I did ride. Gosh, what was the other one? Not Powder.
Brighton's got a rad park.
Okay,
they got a rad park set up. Snowbird is good vertical.
I've ridden Park City, of course.
Yeah,
Park City and Brighton. But yeah, I haven't been much out. I need to get out there more. I need to ride more. I rode like 3 times this.
And you haven't downhill mountain biked yet, right?
I've ridden Bryan Head once.
Okay.
Super dry, like shale rock, like crazy. Oh, but that was it. And then I drove to Bend, and that's when we did the baby. Yeah. That's why I drove out there, and I stopped in a couple places along the way.
So to my clients listening, and I don't know if I, like some people like doing cathartic things, which is fine. Like if it's like, hey, I want to go cycle or I want to go on a run and like decompress things. But like people don't understand in the real estate industry, like if you're a dentist
Right.
and you did your cases and you go home for the day, you're really not. I mean, I understand like if you had a funky surgery or something, you want to make sure that person's okay.
Right.
Like it's a pretty short cycle. But you and I start up these cycles, and then once they get the contract accepted, like we're go.
Yeah.
Then it's like our life's running these like 30-day cycles sometimes. And ideally, when you have great teams, good setup, like things, it's that whole I love that duck on the water analogy, right? That everyone looks at Bemis team's got it covered, the Hallows team's got it covered, but like there's so much happening behind the scenes to where we're making sure that we don't have catastrophic misses or issues
100%.
and dotting the I's and T's. Like I think if we were talking like an AI, like if we were trying to program an AI to be able to do what a realtor does on a high end scale, it's like you are like, because you have that experience, like you're dotting and crossing hundreds of I's and T's within seconds.
Right.
That they didn't even have to worry about or know because you have it dialed, right? Like we didn't have to go into like all these different avenues because we just nipped it in the bud, told them the direction they're going to go. That's what an expert does, right?
Yep.
So that's where I'm leading with this, is that I realized pretty early on in my career that I had to do things that were not cathartic because I can't start thinking through it. I can't start like, going back through things or like thinking of like, okay, do I need to do this? It's like,
right.
I need to do like trail tree.
Right.
Like on the dirt bike or on the downhill mountain bike. So clients, like if you're getting my out of office, that's what I'm doing, is like avoiding a trailer tree just to be able to have some decompression.
Totally, man. And that's, like, I mean, in golf was kind of my thing of just totally decompressing it. It's just an all day thing, which is fine, but I don't know, riding the moto and mountain biking and just doing some of those things that you don't think other than what's in front of you. And typically you're going pretty quick. So
high focus,
nice.
high intensity.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I think we've come down enough so we can hit this. Ready for this?
Going. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to go.
All right.
I already got my bite picked, dude. It's hitting hard already, so I know this is going to be a beast.
Mine's late. Took a big bite though. Oh, it's coming on.
Just another rip.
Oh, like if you're ripping again, I'll rip again.
All right. That's probably going to do me good.
This one's going to be a late and heavy.
Yeah, you can lick my fingers, dude. It's coming.
I don't know if you're supposed to like really chew and like let it stick on your tongue or just let it hit the intestines.
Go.
No, I did kind of both.
I'm chewing it still.
Oh, dude, that is hitting.
I can like feel it on my nose.
Oh, let me see. Do I hold out? No, I'm hitting the milk. Oh, dude.
I gotta still swallow it all.
No pride in that. Oh,
that's like something totally different.
That's not even good enough. I'm hitting the LaCroix.
All right, I gotta do some milk.
Oh. Oh, I'm
still there.
Is it hitting your eyes
still
too?
There. Does LaCroix help?
Milk's better. Oh, that's pain.
Oh, dude, it's coming stronger, dude. I don't think we should have done any of that. I think you just go natural.
You made it worse?
Yeah. There's something. This sauce has got to be prescribed over the counter or something.
Cole, you got the gallon?
Whoa.
Oh, no.
Whoa.
Oh, man.
Dude, I think my eyeballs are like getting foggy. Is that the room or is that me?
No. I don't know how this will make for audio. Oh, man. So bad. Okay. Well, very fitting question here. Let's focus. If you focus.
I think.
Okay. So hopefully very fitting question. No, it's so bad.
Don't even lick your lips. It just comes back.
Okay.
It's like on my... Oh.
Okay. I'll save some extra milk if you want to hit that.
I feel like there's like fog on my eyes. Oh yeah, good call.
Yeah, that'd be bad. It's tough. It's tough in the market right now, right?
Yeah,
Flagstaff is changing.
majorly.
Median sales price like 600,000.
Yeah, I think I saw like 622, 735. Nailed it.
Love it.
Dude, I think this wing has got me like I'm sorry, I'm feeling pretty good, but in a weird way.
You're hitting a good high. See, I need to channel
It's
my
kind of
pain.
like
Are you an ice bath guy? Are you an ice bath guy?
Oh, dude, I haven't done one of those yet, but I feel like this might be a similar effect. Like I don't do ice baths, I just do the gnarliest chicken wing in the world once a day. No, I want to.
I like how we both like cavalierly hit that a second time.
Oh, it's on the
My
roof of my
sinuses
mouth,
are super clear.
burning.
Okay, so it's a tough market. Where's Flagstaff heading? What are the tough pain points that are just gonna? That's life, right? I feel like people very emotionally respond to this market, and I can understand and have empathy for that. But at the same time, I do not appreciate when people want to lie to themselves. Right? Because this town is not going back to where it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 5 years ago.
10, yeah. Like when we bought our house, like people were like, I'm going to wait for those days. You're like, let's stop even thinking that way.
Yeah.
You know?
So
You're starting to sweat, bro.
Am I sweaty?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Good for the camera. Close up on that.
Yeah.
Probably like the color of my shirt. So yeah, what's the future of Flagstaff? What are the pain points? And what's maybe the real talk?
I think just the amount of, I mean, inventory is obviously a big discussion piece, right? Like as we continue to grow, I feel like the scale doesn't necessarily go with the demand. You know, there's always kind of a, I don't know, roadblock, you know, where everybody's like kind of trying to bust through it, and then the gates get let open and everybody finds a home, whether they get into it or not. But I don't know. I just feel like the last, I wouldn't even say 3 to 5 years, just the last 2 to 3 have really been a, you know, kind of pivotal market to where you just got to be on you just got to be on a swivel, like I said, and know your inventory and know what's coming up and just try to stay ahead of that curve and trying to make sure that, you know, you're getting people into houses and just.
But does inventory get better?
About it.
Is inventory going to get to a better point where prices, because that's supply and demand, everyone, right?
Right.
You don't have to be rocket science to know that home prices have not gone down really significantly, because there are a lot of houses. There's more people that want to buy them than people that want to sell them.
Right.
Does that change? Is that getting to an equilibrium, or are prices just going to continue to go up? And
I mean, from what we've seen, it seems like it's just going to kind of be a similar situation. I mean, with our capacity of new construction is, you know, we can all say we're landlocked, which there's not a lot of, you know, we got Timber Sky, we've got Juniper Point. There's these kind of little niche deals that are going up, but even like not Equestrian Estates, what's right across Woody Mountain Estates.
Yeah.
You know, when that first kicked off, it was 900 to 1.1 starting, and now it's 1.8, you know, just to even buy in, and then that's plus. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed in that direction, and I don't foresee anything coming down dramatically, but you know, it would be nice to have some sort of shift to kind of allow us to breathe a little bit in ways of, you know, helping more people out.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think that we have a lot of hard problems that we don't know the answers to yet.
For sure.
Because you can come into this situation where it's like, hey, we got dude, that's still hitting.
It comes in like different phases.
I'm like pretty good. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, just the top of my lip feels like it's mega sunburnt right now. Mm-hmm. Like it got actually burned by something.
Yeah.
Like there
should
might
be careful
be a burn.
About, like not letting. I'm gonna have to watch the guy on Hot Ones to see if he like doesn't touch his lips with the wings, because that's probably what I did.
He's just like his teeth only. No, man. I mean, all great questions, and I don't know if there's, you know, a direct answer to that specific kind of scenario, but I think that's just kind of that bottleneck thought of, you know, when things shift and kind of move as everything does, is when we allow a little bit of opportunity. I can't even talk now. You know, to take advantage of and to kind of be in the front of that trend or swing or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
And I think
Damn, you need another LaCroix.
Probably do. Who I'm good for now.
Some of mine.
You
I'll share.
know, dude, I'm impressed. I'm impressed, Justin, on your ability to speak eloquently while your face is burning off.
Yeah, my nose is kind of. It's just like phases. Now my nose is getting pretty good.
Yeah. I would say, you know, I've heard this before, and I different context, but this is my advice to the home buyer right now. Between the sips of milk, no one is coming to save you.
Okay.
I think yes, some things might get better. As far as yes, rates will get better, right? But that's going to come at the cost of other things,
Right.
right?
Right.
That's going to make it more affordable for more people, and then there's more demand,
100%.
and there's more bidding wars.
I think it's just pick your battle and stick to it because,
Yeah.
you know, the biggest thing we hear is, well, we're going to wait for this or wait for that, or we're going to wait for rates to come down. Well,
Yeah.
that perfect home that you love, 1,000 other people do as well. So therefore, once that home gets into a perspective of affordability, whether it's rate or price, the pendulum's going to continue to swing. And it's like, where do you want to be when you're ready? And when you're ready, that is able and willing and just understanding that. I think it's a big educational piece that we try to share with people, that there's more to it than a rate, a price. I mean, there's ways to still work it to where it's still affordable based on what's happening in today's market.
Well, and you got to focus on what can give, right? And I really appreciate what you said when you talk about chameleoning. That's where, like, when we did a move up, and so on a personal level, I want people to understand that this affects. You know, you and I aren't cavalier about it, right? We when we did our move up, and it was a hot market, we were competing bids, and my wife, give Abby the credit on this one. She's like, we put our, like, it was a multiple counter situation. We put in, I was like, hey, yeah, let's just stick strong. I think we're at a good number. And we were already over ask. This was the 2020 market. So in that market, and already over ask. And then my wife was like, honey, she's like, this is the house. And so I said, okay, let's throw an extra $25,000 on that number.
Right.
And between that and another combination of factors, that's our dream home we're in today. And so I think, and we're going to be in that home, like, really forever. Like, right. I have the staying power. I love it. It checks off all the boxes. So we swung hard. And now, from where we bought, it's like 25 to 30% plus up.
Totally.
And we did a total remodel, which is probably helping as well.
Even
and
more.
So we had, but where I'm going with that too is, just because I did that at that time doesn't mean it's what you should do.
Right.
Just because, I think it's just making a plan, understanding the market, connecting with experts, and building that plan out to say, what can I change? What can I do? No one's going to come save me. I got to do my own homework. Maybe that is, you got to quit going to Dutch Bros and you got to start saving a down payment. Maybe it is, hey, you're just going to have to suck it up and understand that you're going to spend $500 more per month right now. Well, then you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And there's likelihood that they'll shave off as the Fed screws this up, which they 100% always have done. Not 90% of the time. They 100%. You heard me say that stat? David Stevens with the FHA, he was a former head of FHA, has said, he's came out with that. He's like, it's not 80%, it's not 90%. 100% of the time when we've been in this situation, historically, the Fed overbakes like their correction of inflation. We end up in a recession, and rates will end up in a really good spot. Right. So, I mean, like, things are going to look up. That will help people. But still, like you said, you got to pick your problems, pick your battles on it.
Yep. Well, and like you said, I mean, $25K over 30 years, what, $500 a month? Yeah. And is that, I mean, give or take, depending on this or that, but I think it's just that informational piece that we can be, educators or advisors or whatever it is. And it may not be this home, or that home. And it might even take us riding on all three until we really understand. Like, I think that it's still more valuable even today, depending on, or regardless of rates and pricing, if the home checks 8 out of the 10, 7 out of the 10, or 12 out of the 10 boxes, that, if it's a forever home, it's something that you're going to create memories in and basically create your own success, regardless of what is going on around you, right? And that, I think, kind of depletes the thought of being scared or being nervous. And if we can help control that destiny, then I think a lot of that success comes from that educational piece of being on their team and not just, hey, we're going to wait, rates are high. Yep, I totally understand.
Yeah.
And I do understand, and I do want what's best. But if I still feel there's some room to be had or some, ideas,
yeah.
let's get it all on the table before we throw in the towel.
And I think it's making fact-based, not emotional-based decisions.
100%.
If you're saying, hey, I'm tired of looking at homes. I am, I'm depressed because we lost that deal.
Right.
Right. That's the emotional response to this market, and it's going to hurt you. Right.
It was a very emotional year.
Not that I'm wanting to be like a drill sergeant about it. Right.
No, but you're right. In that concept of the thought of buying a home, you hear a lot of negativity, but you don't know what you don't know. You see it, you hear it, and you just kind of squash it without actually calling you and going, what does my situation look like today?
Yeah.
Oh, it's $475 more. We can do that all day. Like, I think people are missing the boat because they're not even trying, or they're just giving up. And that agent's like, hey, I understand, which I do, like I said, but just call Chris. Let's just see where the ball lands. Let's see exactly what you qualify for, because if it's not doable, then absolutely I understand. Right. Yeah. But let's try. And that's maybe a difference too.
And the other factor too is is when you say when people, so we're not just talking about buying the forever home, but it's buying with big picture mindset, with the idea and talking to folks in the industry that you can then understand how things are going to shift, because it will change. That's the constant in this real estate industry, right? When I talk about the very first, because you have a rental, right?
Yep.
And the very first, we did a move up, and we were basically, after I factor in like my HOA and some maintenance, and I was the one going over and doing most of the maintenance, I was probably paying a little bit to hold on to that home.
Right.
I was digging through we were doing some spring cleaning. I was digging through just last night. I found the appraisal for that home, Boulder Point townhome, right? 3.2, and bought it at 215, and it appraised at 215. That was fantastic.
Fantastic. Yes. What year was this?
2010.
Okay.
So again, we were paying a little bit, holding on to offset that, right?
Right.
And that's what folks need to understand. And that when they get nervous about that, and here we were, like, we weren't killing it. We bought a 3.5% down FHA loan.
Right.
And I think our initial rate was in the 4s, right? So not crazy low or anything. And then when they're listing those properties, and they're over 5 right now.
Yeah, I'm showing one tomorrow that's 5.5.
So that's that investing type of thing.
13 years
right?
later, right?
Is that investing type of thing where, yes, the rents have gone up. Yes, we refinanced it and the rates have gone lower, and the cash flow is there, and all these different opportunities have existed, to where it's like that is that amount of money when folks, and especially our middle class America here, to be able to say, all right, $300,000 of equity was created, and that's not my day job.
Right.
It's impactful.
100%. And even if you paid $500 a month to keep that home, you're
mathematically still better.
I mean, just knowing that you have these assets that are doing, you don't even have to do anything, and it's just overnight. It's like putting your money into banks. Every home you buy is its own little bank, because it's giving you money back more than what you're going to get at Wells Fargo or anywhere.
Yep.
I mean, not anywhere, but it's as far as how much that investment, the return on that down payment is way greater in a property than it would be in a bank account sitting in a savings.
And where people, I hope, understand too, is it's not like we're at this high risk. Flagstaff is not the venture capital, like high risk entry level investment where it's like, hey, you're going to get in cheap and maybe it will go up a lot.
Right.
It's like, this is like investing in like the S&P.
Totally.
Right. Or something like this is an established market. People love it here. The Grand Canyon's not moving. Sedona's not moving anywhere. Powell, you got, the trails are not going anywhere. Not the only thing that could happen is the forest burns down. That's the only big negative.
Just being in the mountains, though.
Otherwise, otherwise it's an established market. And it's a safe bet.
Well, and it's expensive.
It's going to cost you.
It's expensive to get in, but that return is much greader. Exactly. So it's like, well, I don't know. There's so much we could talk on that, because it gets my wheels turning, and there's a lot of opportunity out there still, regardless of pricing. there's still a ton of opportunity, whether you're investing, buying a primary, or, a second home.
And there's
100%.
up and cut. Well, and I think you can tell we've definitely gotten off of the bomb here. I'm feeling a little better. You feeling a little better?
It's kind of, I can breathe
It's
a
still in the
little bit.
lips a little bit, though.
My bottom lip feels like actually swollen. Like it actually feels
I was
like
hitting that up here.
like numb on the bottom piece.
Yeah.
Like if I go like this, it feels like sunburn for sure.
Yeah. So but that's where I think there are a lot of opportunities as this town shifts. Like we know of like hospital, shift. I don't know if it's still, even under the definition of potential, but basically the hospital I do think this is one thing, that started hit me more recently that I think because we are limited in land and the new construction costs, so forth. I think Flagstaff is ripe for a big, what's the word that we want to use? Like inventory upscaling.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of neighborhoods that are usually your more inexpensive entry points that we're going to see continued remodeling and growth of that inventory and upscaling of certain inventory. I think there's opportunity there. There's opportunity across the board.
Well, and I think also too, like looking at Flagstaff as a whole and understanding the relocation of the hospital, right? Like what's that going to do for Ponderosa Trails, Boulder Points, Kachina Mountain Air, whether it's rentals for staff, and you can, I guess the point of bringing that up is knowing, and most people could understand this concept, but like there's opportunity now in a different way, whether it's still kind of a retail price, but if you're buying it for this or you're buying it for that, look at the bigger picture. When there's X amount of people coming to service that new hospital, they're going to need a place to live, whether they're going to rent or buy.
Yep.
So you pivot on things that not to say you can control, but you can foresee.
Yeah.
And how does that investment opportunity look on the other side by having community involvement and understanding actually the town? And when you have Valley agents coming up, which I've sold homes in Phoenix, and I get it, but it's important to know what we have and where we are on the map and the opportunities we have, from Powell to Snowball to the trails to, all the stuff we have is incredible. It's insane. Like we literally live in a magical place.
Well, and on top of that too, in the demand cycle, to realize, like I walked through Snowball, the lodge one day, and basically of like 5 people I passed, I heard like 1 speaking English.
Yep.
And the other 3 was like, or 4 was like 2 or 3 different languages. And so we had, there were some people visiting from like an Asian continent, right? There was some people visiting from Mexico. So you just don't realize like, okay, like we got so many cross sections of demographic there.
Totally.
That's that's the pro and the con, right? A lot of people want to be here, want to visit here. And no, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Justin, this has been an experience, huh?
That was fun. I wasn't totally expecting this until my boy Cole over here was like, "We're doing the wing challenge." I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is gonna be rad." I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, we survived it, and my mouth, I'm functional, which is good.
Truthfully though, like I thought that one was gonna hurt me more. It was hot. Like I might even take another bite just for the heck of it.
Oh,
I don't know if I want to go back through that though.
No, I wouldn't go back through it, but I would agree that it was painful.
It was pretty gnarly, but it wasn't like trash cans or anything.
Yeah.
I could see still and stuff,
Yeah.
My eyes got kind of foggy, like the room got smoky for a second, but that was it.
It wasn't like a pepper spray type of
My bottom lip is still like, feels like I got a fat lip kind of thing, but other than that, I'll be good.
So any other last words, any closing words on real estate?
No, man, I just think that being positive and trusting the process and having somebody that has your back and knows the ins and outs. And I think, again, a lot of the success we've had is just the relationships with other agents and knowing who gets the job done. And that trust factor has been kind of built throughout, which to me this year has been a good tool to have because, it still is a tough market. There still is multiple offers. There's still, homes that are getting into bidding wars, but there's also another piece to knowing how that agent operates and kind of what their overall demeanor is. And that's getting the deal done and working together. That's another thing. When we go back to when your question was like, what's one annoying thing is like, just that that transparency between the two of us,
Yeah.
and we're all on the same team to get it
Exactly.
done. So like, why battle it out and create confrontation when it's not needed? You literally
No.
do not need to get upset because
Yeah.
we'll all figure it out.
Yep. I love it.
Truthfully.
I love it. The future's bright, and we're not going to do the bomb again.
We're
Or
gonna do
this
all
round.
All
All
bombers
right.
next time.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks,
you, man.
Justin. Good to have you,
Appreciate it.
man.
Thank you.